This week, we nerd out about a ton of new trailers that headed our way from Marvel, DC, and more. We get real hyped about some possible cameos happening in this upcoming season of Ahsoka. We really freak out about the rumors of a possible Firefly revival and a whole lot more. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week we are back to talk about all the fun stuff happening out there in the pop culture universe. But before we jump into that, Taylor, what have you been nerding out about this week, man?
What have I been nerding out about this week? I beat Epic Mickey again,
Nice.
except I did it the nice way without using as much thinner and using more paint. So now I've beaten it twice, one each way. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. I really do love that game.
I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine for like the first time and I couldn't tell you how long. That movie is really not great. It's not like it's fun for sure, but there's the one scene where he's fighting Agent Zero, who I think is supposed to be Maverick,
Okay.
but they're fighting and like he jumps above an exploded Hummer and it flings him up into this helicopter, and then he cuts the helicopter impeller, and then he like walks away as everything explodes, and it is the most over the top thing to the point where I laughed out loud. Literal lulls.
That's hilarious.
And the Deadpool stuff's so bad. Like, that's a bad movie. The only good part is him and the Sabretooth stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, I mean, it's just overall a really bad movie. I recommend it though if you want a good action movie that you're not going to take too seriously.
Right? I think it was 2, maybe 3 years ago, my older kids and I just watched every X-Men movie, and I remember thinking pretty much exactly what you just said when we got to that one.
I didn't remember it being so campy.
Do you remember not being a fan of that version of Deadpool?
Yeah, that for sure. I remember that coming out in theaters thinking, why does Deadpool look so weird? But didn't have a really huge opinion of it until like years later.
Yeah.
When like Deadpool was like popular as a character.
And then when they did a good job of the movie.
Yeah, and then being like, God, that was so bad.
Do love that. Is it Deadpool 1 or 2 where in the after credits scenes he kills both that Deadpool and Green Lantern? Or I guess Ryan Reynolds reading Green Lantern.
It's the first one.
I remember laughing so hard the first time I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Let's see. My nerding out this week. I'm not the biggest Pokemon guy in the world. I do like the phone game, the Pokemon Go with my kids and stuff, but I don't really collect the cards and things all like that. My kids now, that's a different story. They're obsessed. And I still have the ones I had from back in the day when I was a kid. And I may have told the story before, but my grandpa, when I was little, owned a furniture store in the little town we lived in. And when he sold it and retired, he just really hated not working. And at some point, he lived like a block or 2 blocks from our little town. Well, the little town he lived in was a different one than I lived in, but he lived 1 or 2 blocks away from a Burger King. And he walked down there and was like, hey guys, I see you have a help wanted sign and I am retired and I hate it. Can I come and just do something? And you're walking distance to my house and, blah, blah, blah. All that to say is my grandpa, who retired from running a business for many years, started, working part-time at this local Burger King. And that was around the same time that Burger King really got into giving out Pokemon stuff. And do you kind of remember those golden cards you could buy that were inside of those balls, the Pokeballs?
Yeah.
He gave me a couple of those and I still have them. And Burger King had their own set of all 151 Pokemon cards, and he gave me them, and I have them in a binder, all 151 of them. And anyway, so that's about the extent of my Pokemon collecting. I have a couple pops just because I collect pops. That's my thing. And long story short, for people who are fans of all the dudes that do Pokemon card type stuff on social media and YouTube, there's four really growing in popularity guys. Their usernames are there's Beard Dad, and there's Coops Collectibles, and there's Pokeshawn, and JP, who goes by No Relax Shop. And those four guys have grown in crazy popularity the past year, and they call it the Cards and More Tour, and they travel all over the country. Long story short, when I saw that they were going to be in Kansas City, and my boys and I watch their videos all the time, these guys are so cool. They're so popular, they have live streams, and while they're doing their live stream at card convention or something, it's like, "Oh, so and so donated $50 for that kid that's standing in line." And so they get to be like, "Hey, bro, pick out something up to $50. So, my chat just donated." And anyway, these guys are so kind and so cool, and I saw that they were coming. The tickets, it was only like $20 to get in, nothing crazy at all. And I took the boys, and Oliver and Henry both brought their little binders of Pokemon cards, and it was so cool. These guys were so nice to them and treated them like little kings. And one of the guys, the one called Pokeshawn, when Henry was talking to him, he's like, "How long you been collecting?" And he's like, "Really only since Christmas, because it's been Oliver that's been doing it for years." And he literally turns around and hands Henry these like fistfuls of really good cards and the little protective slabs, and like I'm like, "Oh, this is so crazy." And anyway, like they were all that kind and gave the boys stuff, and
Wow.
it was it was so cool. And it felt like one of those fun dad moments to get to let my kids experience that. And they live streamed everything, so it was kind of cool later to go back to their YouTube pages and rewind through until we found ourselves on all four of their different pages.
Oh, that's cool.
And these guys aren't, celebrities per se. They're just normal dudes who have grown in popularity. But I like to collect Funko Pops and get Funko Pop signed. So I had these four different Pokemon Funko Pops, and I had each of them sign one. So that's kind of what I brought back from it. And but yeah, we were nerding out about Pokemon this week. We had a good time.
Good.
Well, hey, this week there's been a lot of trailers and stuff coming out. We'll talk about those as we get to them. But over with Marvel, they finally put a release date on when we're going to get a Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. It sounds like that movie that's coming up real soon on March 20th called Project Hail Mary. The Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer is supposed to be attached to that movie. So we're about 11 days away from us recording this right now to finally getting to see a trailer for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Did you hear the news that Hulk got fired?
Like Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I saw a couple things about that, and I'm waiting to see, like, I feel like he's been getting a lot of heat for speaking out on his political beliefs.
Yeah.
And a couple of the things I saw posting it made it seem like they were just kind of like trying to spread that rumor, even if it wasn't necessarily true. But then again, hey, who knows? It might be true. But I saw a couple things floating out there about that. I hope it's not true.
Yeah, what made me think about that is that the Spider-Man trailer comes out, and isn't he supposed to be in it?
Yeah, he's a big part of it. He's Peter's teacher, his college professor.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see how that all plays out, if that's true or if that's just a rumor.
Yeah. Another rumor about that movie is that at some point in this movie, the Punisher is going to have some kind of Iron Man type armor, and he's going to go by the Iron Punisher for a brief moment. I don't know how true that is, but it was on this rumor page that I look at sometimes, and I don't know. Do you recall seeing something like that in the comics?
Yeah,
I don't know. If they do it, I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't know how out there that might be for this movie.
yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's supposed to be like a ton of, and this movie better be long though. I
I
was
know.
thinking about that, like the amount of characters that are in it that have been announced. Like, they better have either that or like it just jumps right into everything.
Yeah. It's funny, I don't get crazy excited to go to the theater unless it's one of these big Marvel, DC, Star Wars type movies. But mentioning that movie Project Hail Mary earlier, I'm actually kind of excited about that movie. I want to go see that one. That one looks really cool to me.
Yeah, I think it'll do good too.
Yeah, and it's based on a book, and it's about a teacher, and he's like the only person on the planet that can fix this issue. I don't know, the idea that there's other worlds out there with aliens and they're having the same problem and they meet up. I don't know. It seems super cool to me and I'm pretty interested. I want to see it.
That's cool.
Going back to Spider-Man, Sony just recently announced that they are going to be rebooting their entire Sony Spider-Man franchise. Now, not giving the rights up to Disney, they're going to reboot it and do their own thing all over again. And that seems so dumb to me.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, they've already, not been succeeding at this Spider-Man free Spider-Verse. Now, they're killing it with the animated stuff, but I feel like they should just relinquish it all to Disney, to the Marvel Studios, and put it where it needs to be. Let's see, Avengers Doomsday is about to be entering their post-editing and their reshoots and all that stuff, and that starts in the next week or two, it looks like. So the closer we get, they're putting the finishing touches on it. And all these announcements, Spider-Man, Avengers, I'm just excited to see some Marvel on the big screen again. It's been a while, it feels like.
Yeah, was it Thunderbolts' last movie?
Between Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, it's been a while, and I'm just so ready. And I really enjoyed Fantastic Four, but it was kind of, it was an Elseworld. It was a different part of the multiverse. So I want to see some of this connectivity again. Speaking of Fantastic Four, it was announced that it's already been announced in the past that we're going to see a handful of Reed Richards variants in this movie, but something posted this week that some of these variants might be duplicates of the same actors, and some of these variants might be other actors we've already seen, and other variants might even be actors we have not seen. So maybe we'll get some kind of Council of Reeds situation, and we might see some familiar faces and even new faces.
Do you think we'll see John Krasinski again?
It didn't explicitly say that in this thing that I read, but they used his picture.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. The final thing I have this week with Marvel is that Daredevil Born Again just this past week released a new trailer. They've already released a couple trailers, but this new one, it rehashes some of the old scenes, but threw in a bunch of Jessica Jones stuff. So they're kind of doubling down, letting us know that she's coming back. So that's kind of cool.
I can't wait for this season. It's like I forgot that it came out this month, and I was like, oh, yeah.
I'm so ready.
I'm so ready. It was my favorite. I think it's my favorite Marvel show of all time.
It's a good one, definitely. Let's see. Over with DC, did you see this past week they released the trailer for the new Lantern series?
Yeah, I watched it. I wanted more of him in suits.
Same. I feel like either two things. One, maybe they're still editing that stuff, but two, maybe they're just straight up holding off all the big guns until we watch it.
Yeah, and I didn't like it that he doesn't have a relationship with the other Lanterns.
Yeah. And it seemed like he was kind of rude to Jon Stewart, which seemed weird to me.
Yeah. Them not getting along like in the comics a little bit, but they're friends.
Yeah.
Like it's just, yeah, I don't know. It was almost like they were using Jon Stewart as Hal Jordan and they're using Hal Jordan as Sinestro.
Right, yeah. And I wonder, he made some comment in the trailer about this job ain't over till I'm dead. I wonder if they're going to lean into, the storyline that messes with Hal Jordan's life, and maybe even we'll get Parallax with the version of Hal playing Parallax, and who knows what they're going to do. But, the other thing I didn't, love, and I know I'm a grown-up, but my kids were kind of excited to watch it, and the trailer alone dropped like 4 F-bombs.
I know that too. I noticed that too. I was like, oh, okay. So that's what we're going with.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to watch the heck out of it, but I'm like, dang it, my kids wanted to watch this, and I'm going to have to screen it first.
Yeah.
The only other thing I really have with DC this week is that this whole who's going to buy Warner Brothers thing is still happening, but it sounds like Paramount is the one that has won the bid. So all of the DC stuff is going to wind up over at Paramount because they now apparently own Warner Brothers. So that's crazy.
Interesting.
Maybe we'll get, like the comic books, a DC Star Trek crossover one day.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be crazy. Well, over with Star Wars, there's not a ton of news, but one of the things that was just talked about is that when Ahsoka Season 2 gets here, there's a lot of rumors of people who have seen stuff happening on set saying that Ewan McGregor was on set. So we might be getting Obi-Wan in Season 2 of Ahsoka. So that's kind of cool.
That would make sense.
And especially, they could do all kinds of Clone Wars flashbacks, and it would be super cool to see him and Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka together, because we've never seen that trio live action. That'd be so cool. And then the actress Katie Sackhoff, who played Bo-Katan, she was the voice of Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars, and then she was live action Bo-Katan on Mandalorian and Grogu. She just said in a recent interview that she will be back really soon in a future Star Wars show. She didn't say what, but she's coming back, so that's kind of cool too.
That is cool.
Okay, all kinds of stuff happening out there in the pop culture universe, but one that got me kind of going a little crazy. Were you a big fan of the show Firefly?
Yeah, I saw this. I already know what you're gonna say.
Oh man, so
I-
okay,
It's
for
so exciting.
for fans of Firefly, this could be anything. This really could be anything. Let me just get into it. So, Firefly, we all know it went one season. It made a movie that kind of sort of gave it somewhat some closure, but not really. Fans have been going nuts about this amazing cult classic that got cut off way too short for years, over a decade, decades at this point almost. But anyway, Nathan Fillion, who was, the lead of that show, as well as the other leads of that show, have been posting stuff all over their social media related to Firefly. And finally, Nathan Fillion posted, all these guesses will come to a head on March 15th. Stay tuned for a huge announcement. And people are kind of losing their minds. Like, oh my gosh, they're going to finally bring back Firefly. That'd be so amazing. Now, other people who are a little more, or I guess I should say a little less optimistic, are like, they're probably going to announce like a convention appearance or like a podcast or something. But I don't know, man. If they announce a revival show, I'm going to lose my mind because I love that show so much.
Yeah. It has to be good for them to be able to bring it back. Like the script has to be good.
Yes. And I wonder, in that one movie that, some people love it, some people don't, we had a handful of deaths. I wonder if they'll just kind of retcon that stuff or if they'll keep it true or who knows.
Who knows?
For fans of My Hero Academia, we all know that series ended a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago at this point. We got to watch the series finale, but they just announced that there's going to be a special one-off epilogue type episode coming out on May 2nd, 2026. So I, for one, am super hyped and super happy about that. That's going to be awesome. It ended just fine. It had some fantastic closure, but I'm not sad about seeing a little bit more.
Right on.
Another trailer. Did you watch the official full trailer for Scary Movie 6 this week?
I did.
That movie's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I think this is what I understand is that if I'm right, if this does well, it opens the door for a couple other movies.
Yeah. The Wayans brothers themselves have said if this movie does well, we can expect a White Chicks 2. We can expect Don't Be a Menace 2.
Don't Be a Menace 2 would be insane.
I know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Those movies always crack me up. Definitely not ones for the kiddos, but definitely ones for some laughs.
Yeah.
For fans of the series Reacher with Alan Ritchson, they just announced that we will be getting a season 4 later this year. It was kind of unknown if it was going to happen, and if so, how soon. But before this year's up, we're getting a season 4 of that show, and I'm real excited about that. I love that show.
Right on.
Well, this one was crazy. They just announced earlier this week that a new sequel to The Mask with Jim Carrey is coming, and Jim Carrey will be reprising his role. It won't be just some random fake sequel.
Oh, okay.
That'll be fun. For fans of the Underworld movies, they've been talking about those movies, coming back with a new sequel, but they did just announce that Kate Beckinsale, who plays Celine in those movies, is coming back for Underworld 6. So for fans of that, you got a new one of those coming.
There's 6 of those movies.
Yeah, well, I guess 5, so this will be 6. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think I've only seen the first 3.
I think I've only seen the first 2.
I might have to watch those.
Yeah.
Just to watch them.
For fans of Game of Thrones, there's yet another spinoff on the way. It sounds like it's going to be called Aegon's Conquest. And if you've been watching House of the Dragon, we know who Aegon Targaryen is. But yeah, got another Game of Thrones installment coming. The latest rumor with this new Harry Potter series coming to HBO Max is that the actor Paul Bettany might be playing Lord Voldemort.
Wow, that would
Yeah.
be cool.
Vision might be Voldemort.
I don't know if I'd like that.
Seeing him bad.
Yeah, it might be so good that it might be unnerving.
Yeah. Let's see. Star Trek just announced that Strange New Worlds season 4 will be out later this year. And if I remember correctly, season 5 is going to be the finale of that series. And then that's going to lead into what would be the original Star Trek series. So it sounds like they might be putting together a new cast and creating a new show that kind of doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't retcon the original, but kind of maybe just new adventures that we supposedly never saw or whatever. But
Okay.
yeah, I really love all this new Trek stuff they've been doing. Starfleet Academy has been awesome. And the fact that my wife likes it too makes it even better. It's been
Yeah.
fun.
I know that Becky Lynch is in that, and she's awesome.
Yep.
She's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Everyone's been saying it. Even Sports Illustrated says it.
Nice. Speaking of all these new trailers, did you catch the season 5 trailer for The Boys that just came out this week?
I didn't. I didn't even see a trailer for that come out.
It looks crazy. It's the finale season. I know they're going to be doing more spin-off-y type stuff, but as for the main series, this will be the final season, and it's going to go out with a bang for sure. Homelander is basically looking for the chemicals that makes them have their powers as babies or whatever. He's looking for this variant stuff that could potentially make him immortal, and I don't know. It looks crazy. The show is already insane, and this looks like it's going to one-up everything it's ever done before.
Oh, they have a lot to do to catch up to everything they've done before. So I'm kind
Billy-
of glad that it's coming to an end, though.
Yeah, let it go out on a way high note.
Yeah.
And Billy Butcher with powers is going to be insane. There was one clip of him doing what he does, and yeah, this is going to be a pretty epic, pretty action-packed season for sure. Oh, for all the Disney fans, they've just announced that a handful of projects are in production right now, like actively in development, and they were Monsters, Inc. 3, Coco 2, and The Incredibles 3, and all of these movies, we will see them by between 2028 and 2029.
Getting faster.
Yeah, I know. That'll be fun. That's about it for that kind of news. Locally, if you didn't listen last week, we had our friend of the show, Chris Powell from NakaCon, come on and talked about what that event's going to be like. Try to get out there this weekend, Overland Park Convention Center, 13th through the 15th. That's going to be a fun time, especially if you're all about the anime stuff. You're going to love this event. But hey, you might see us roaming around, so come say hi to us. Well, hey, as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor channel, same Taylor time.
Bye.
Bye.